WizKids knows how to sell a set. Alright guys, this week in the Metal Lab, as I drag everything across, get a little too close to the camera for comfort's sake, and just wheel my way back. I kind of like the new flexibility of the set. It's not too bad. Get to move around, get off screen, get on screen, watch Amber's vein in her head grow under her pink little hair. It's kind of an exciting time right now. Thor's out. Thor has been looked at. We've had a chance to kind of consume the set, see what it looks like, and we get to start talking now about what figures we think are going to actually have an effect in the metagame. One thing that's probably not a surprise to anybody is we have 8 Colossals in the set. Amber, correct me if I'm wrong. And we all know Colossal Retaliation is a very strong thing. So when it comes to the competitive play, which Colossals are going to really stand out? Carnage, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Everybody wants him. Everybody needs him. He's the cheapest, most effective point-for-point Colossal out there. He doesn't do quite on the level of what Adam does. He just does something very differently. Colossal Retaliations are still free actions. There's no timing requirement on them. They're not beginning of the turn or anything like that. So nothing's really changed about how Colossal Retaliation works. What that means is that characters who have it are still great. And the value is in their retaliations. And Carnage stands out a lot for a number of reasons. One, his is an individually targeted retaliation. What that means is you can have your characters based to your opponent's characters, and he can safely go in because he's only targeting one character. And should Carnage not kill that character because you need squares adjacent to that character, he'll drop a symbiote. Now, what's really important and strong about this, and some people miss and some people don't quite catch, is that Carnage will go in, do his retaliation. He's got an 11 attack with 3 damage. He's got a lot of damage potential coming out of this guy. You can modify that damage because it is based on his actual damage value. You can perplex up that damage. You can perplex up his attack. You can go in. You can up the damage values and still be doing all this against a single target with free action. So it doesn't count towards your action total. What's important about that is when he's done with his attack, hit or miss, he's dropping an alien symbiote token. These alien symbiotes, they have plasticity, they have blades, claws, fangs, they have super senses, and they have shape change, and they cost 0 points if I remember correctly. Holy moly. They've got 11 attack themselves, and they don't have a particularly great defense, but you have to get past the shape change. And if you get past the shape change, you better hope you have Precision Strike so that I have to roll a 6 on my shape change. Because Precision Strike no longer gets by these things, you see. So there's so much going on in that character and so much potential in that character at a low cost of 10 points. Right? And that blows a lot of minds. So keep your eyes on Carnage. Another character to watch out for as well is Mangog. 30 points. He does his retaliation. I believe his attack is like 10 or 11, which is ridiculous. And his retaliation itself is 4 damage and then 3 damage. It's like 7 damage. I believe you have to attack once. I don't, off the top of my head, there's a potential of 7 damage from this guy if positioned correctly. It is absolutely ridiculous. And to add insult to injury with him, this is where it gets crazy. He can, if he happens to find his way into his opponent's starting area, not unreasonable when you think that he can colossal retaliate his way across the board if you put the right characters in his face, he can take a power action and move up to his 150 point starting line. And you can only do that once per game, but what will end up happening, if you think about it, is that he goes to his 150 point line. He's no longer stuck on the Colossal Indifference click, which means he can attack freely. What's more is he's now got a stop click at the end of this dial because all those Colossal Retaliations are, guess what? Stop clicks. On his stop, he also has Impervious attached to it. He is an incredibly difficult Colossal Retaliator to get rid of. And that's another scary element of Mangog is the fact that he's hard to kill and he does so much. The other Colossal Retaliators are really good. Those are the two that are going to be standouts that you're going to see or you're going to use. Trust me in this sense. So keep an eye on them. Honorable mention to the Flora Colossal. If you can roll some 5s and 6s, that thing can start to get scary. But in the grand scheme of it, in competitive play, you're best going to see 4 turns, 1/3 of them, so 1 or 2 extra clicks on him to put him to a 9 attack with a Quake and a sidestep, a charge, or something like that. It's not fantastic. The odds just aren't there. That's just the Colossals we've covered in Thor. Let's talk about the set itself. There are a number of characters that come with weapons. The Colossals each come with a basic form of weapon, and there's a bunch of characters, rares, uncommons, and super rares, that come with special weapons, and some of them stand out as pretty darned amazing. Now, one thing worth noting with the weapons themselves come with a character, and the character that comes with them, I think in 100% of the cases, is able to start the game with the weapon. It doesn't count towards your items throughout the game, and you know it's a really cool effect, and it gives you the effect of the weapon on that character. The weapons that stand out to my attention are definitely Mjolnir, because a lot of people are trying to make Mistress Death, from Deadpool work, and boy does Mjolnir make her work. I believe she has like a 10 range, and if she makes a close combat attack against an opposing character, they get a death token, and the death token then causes them to take double damage. So she attacks a close combat attack from 10 squares away with a 12 attack, I believe she has, off the top. That's before you've done the work to modify her attack values. You do that attack, you hit. Now that hit is dealing like 4 damage with her 2 that's already there, because it triggers on the hit. It is, oh my goodness, is that in some of the already insane talk going out there. Others include Stormbreaker, I believe it's called, that comes with Beta Ray Bill. And also notable is Thunderstrike. Thunderstrike gives Force Blast, and if a character is knocked back by the character attacking with the weapon, they heal a click. So the insanity of something like that, the ability to just knock back, heal can go a long way. Even attached to Thunderstrike's numbers are pretty good for his point value, and he's really, really cool as far as that's concerned. So Thunderstrike, A-OK partner. And that's just Thunderstrike's weapon. Him and himself, and as I've mentioned, works very well with the weapon. He doesn't necessarily have to be the guy using it, though, because you can get these on the board. Other ones worth mentioning. I honestly haven't had a chance to look at them, so bear with me. You know what? Take a look through them. See what you like, because every weapon has a really cool effect that can go a long way. Things like even the Asgardian Shield that comes in the starter set is 4 points and gives energy shield. That goes a long way. Right? The common slot, there's not a lot worth super mentioning, though the common prime in the red leader is worth a mention. He's really, really good. The ability to use Perplex as a power action to get +2 to his stat instead of the +1. He's got, what am I looking for? We've got in the uncommon slot, the Lady Thor. If we had a way to give her running shot, oh boy, would she be a scary thing. She's got traded Force Blast, and also part of her trait, if she makes a range attack, she can make another range attack against a different target. Important note, damage depletion modifier is gone. So keep that in mind, kiddos. Alright, who else is worth mentioning? Eric Masterson and Jane Foster are some of the coolest support characters sitting in the uncommon slot I've ever seen. The fact is they can bring in their uncommon counterpart. Eric Masterson also has the option of bringing in Thunderstrike. So those guys are both really cool. Eric Masterson is a pumper. He's got energy, or he's got enhancement, and he can use Perplex as a power action. It doesn't seem that great, but when you think about the long-term stretch of that, he's also got willpower, so you power action, perplex, got a guy beside you, so you perplex up attack. Now you got +1 attack, +1 damage. Or if your attack is high enough, add an extra 1 to the damage at a power action. So now you got +2 to the damage. That's insane. Jane Foster is, of course, a supporty lady, but she can also support in the midst of combat, which isn't a common thing. She also has defend with 15 defense, so her 9 attack, which eventually goes to an 8 on her 3rd click, but it's 3 clicks, is going to be healing a lot and very effectively. Scourge is probably one of the harder guys to kill, not named Joker apparently now. I'm going to quote my buddy Jay from the Metal Lab on that one. He's played with it, seen it happen, so hey, how about that? A guy who's really, really tough to kill. Can't argue with that. But that's the uncommon prime. We get into the rares. There's a couple rares worth noting. Keep an eye, guys, on your Eternals, because when we get to the super rare slot, we're going to be talking about somebody who makes them effective. Destroyer is pretty cool. Thorbuster is what he is. Very inset type of character. Tyrannus is a pog generating machine. If you're making a team that's going to make a round table move and you include Tyrannus, boy, is that thing going to see click 3 very quickly. The fact is, he starts with 2 of his Tyrannoids next to him. Then he can take a power action to make one. And then he can take another power action to make one. He's got willpower. And, you know, if he has 2 action tokens, you can just generate a Tyrannoid again. Every turn, you're pumping one of these guys out regardless. It's pretty cool. Zarko the Tomorrow Man is a 6-click, 555 point probability controller with the added bonus of being able to make Asgardians great as far as probability control is concerned. We get into the higher rarities where more of the conversation ends up happening. Thor Odinson is your title character. Really, really beefy, strong title character. And if you happen to have other Asgardians, he can help keep them alive very well. Hela she's neat. Most notable, though, is the Unimind. Playable as low as 150 or 275. 275 you're putting a lot of investment in, but you can pop some Eternals on the sideline, make him a little bit better. He's got that Eternal +2. He's got Power Cosmic. He's going to see play. Plan on either using him or playing against him, because the fact that he's got Power Cosmic and is as strong as he is makes him a very, very potent threat in the current game. And I believe he also has he's got a 10 range with 2 targets, and the Eternal, he's allowed to pick powers from Eternals. Very, very potent collection of guys that are available to him. Plus, he gets a gaining returns on how many Eternals you pay for. You got to pay 5 points for each Eternal on the side. If you have Unimind, look at him. If you don't, check him out on HC Realms. Take a good look at him and plan for him, because, oh boy. Thunderball is cool. His weapon is better with Quake that's at full damage against all targets. Quake single target, cool. Quake multi-target with full damage, even better. We've already mentioned the Thor that comes with Mjolnir. His weapon is better than him, but he's also very strong. 160 points of bargain that comes with Mjolnir, but he only comes with a 6 range with it. Now, although that 6 range does come with flight and 11 movement charge, so very cool figure. What else is going to be mentioned in the competitive environment? Somebody is going to try that starter set Loki, and he's going to make people upset. Odin has been one that people have been talking about. Odin the Destroyer, the one in Destroyer Armor, is another one people have been talking about. So keep your eyes open for them. Plan how you're going to use them or play against them. With that said, Thor is an awesome set. There's a lot to look at, a lot to talk about. There's a lot of combinations I might not have even caught initially. I'm still in the midst of research space, but I've talked now about the figures that have caught my eye. This set does have an effect on the metagame. We do have to pay attention. And it's definitely got future implications as well when we get into a world where we don't have a round table or we don't have a Kree Supreme Intelligence. So keep your eyes open for that world, because that world is in our future, and we have to be ready for that. So with that said, guys, whip out your Thor stuff. Get a couple practice games in. Try out all this stuff. It's really cool to see how it all works together, how it functions, and whatnot. And of course, the most important part of getting practice is that practice will make your team better.